Welcome everyone. How is it going? Let me know if my audio is coming in clear. I was fixing up my microphone because yesterday I had some audio difficulties. Welcome Ryan, Abel, Edward, ES, somewhere. How's it going, everyone? Let me know if my audio is coming in clear. I'm just gonna check myself. See here. All right. I think it sounds clear. Yes, inspiration 4 is going up. That's right. Indeed. Edward. Audio is good. Awesome. Thanks you, Mr. S. Okay. Interesting day in Tesla stock, right? 750 is looking like the level that we're meeting with some resistance. Rajat, how's it going? And to be honest, I'm not surprised considering that, we're facing some resistance today. Remember, volume today on the day is only 8.8 million. That being said, we do have 3 hours to go into close. Boyle says just tweet at you. Hey guys, let me know where you guys are tuning in from in the chat. And if you're watching on, if you're watching on the replay, let me know as well. Go in hashtag replay. Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. Fiverr tweeted at me saying, I think this is just the peak of the daily since a daily sine wave we've seen this week. Yeah, let's see how it goes. The big thing with this week, as you guys know, Montreal. The big thing that that you guys know this week is quadruple witching. Create Your Worth, California, Toronto, Rajat, local Canadian, Austin, Texas. Salah and Adam here from New York. Follow you on Twitter. Been on point. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in from New York. Sweden. DJ's from New Jersey. Welcome, DJ. Aloha from Hawaii, I guess. Hong Kong. Riffs from Los Angeles. Here from the future. Hashtag replay. Chicago, man. Netherlands. Mars. There's always one Mars. Columbus. Wisco. I think that's Wisconsin. Is that short for Wisconsin? How's it going? Too many fills. New Zealand. Abel. UK. Florida. Got some humidity. Got plenty for all, says DJ Deckard Kane. Yes. I'd like some humidity. I'll show you. I'll turn around the camera for a hot second. Hopefully my whole setup doesn't get rejigged here. But it's sunny days here in Vancouver. So, I can't complain because it usually rains here about 8 months out of the year. So happy with that. Liam in UK. Daryl, how's it going, man? Tyler, how's it going? From Discord. Spain. Dig the channel. Appreciate it. Belgium, Toronto, NYC. One day that Mars comment won't be a joke. Yeah, hey, Inspiration 4 is going up. Not to Mars, but, Inspiration 4 is going up. I do find it kind of ironic that, Bezos and Branson, all these guys are trying to fight for going into space. And then Musk's like, yeah, let's just send four civilians up. From Apple, I'm 100% in. Nova Scotia, welcome. Italy. Tennessee, says Blake. Welcome, Blake. So, okay, so what's interesting, right, is we're flirting again here. We're 750.92 sitting on the stock. High of day is 752.24. And this is the daily 5-minute. And it's been a while since we've done Power Hour as well, right? Texas started watching your channel a week ago. We really like content. I appreciate that, Tech. We haven't done a Power Hour, I feel like, in about 3 weeks now. And that's not because I don't want to do it. It's just I've been all over the place. Yesterday, I got a root canal. I thought I was going to do it yesterday. I was out after my root canal yesterday. So, obviously that was off the table. We're still probably going to do one this Friday. Let me know in the comments if you guys dig it. I'm thinking Friday Power Hour quadruple witching is technically that day, right? Because that's when everything expires. We can do like a Power Hour live stream for like a classic one for like 1 hour to end the day. If there's enough. That being said, if there's enough demand for it. Abel says going full time on YouTube, man. If you guys hit subscribe and like, apparently likes. Okay, so over the weekend, or not what is it? Today's Wednesday. So over the past weekend, I was talking with some buddies that are pretty big on YouTube, and they were saying hitting the like technically is the best thing you can do, second to subscribing. I didn't realize that. I know I've been tongue-in-cheek joking about hitting the like, but if that's what's going to grow the channel, if you want to hit like, I'd appreciate it. I'm not even sure. Let me see how many likes we have on this channel right now. Or, pardon me, on the stream. We have 44 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to, I don't know. Let's say 100. I don't know. We're aiming low for now. We'll see. as this power hour stream goes on, we'll have more goals to hit. So 750.62 sitting on Tesla. Again, remember 750 is tough, right? Do I expect us to close above 750? Why not? I mean, if you look at the EMAs on the 5-minute, we do have a decent EMA. It's the 9 EMA on the 5. On the 1 minute, I would probably a little bit extended. Even on the 1 minute, we're not even that extended off the 750. So I'd like to see what volume weighted average price is, and that's 741. So we got some work to do on the VWAP. Let me just make sure it's VWAP 14. So we do have some work to do in terms of getting volume up here, right? Remember, the volume weighted average price tells us not just what the price is on average for the day, but if you weight it against the volume, hence the name, volume weighted average price, like where is the actual median price for the day, right? And that's why it's so interesting to see that Tesla is having a hard time going past 750, especially if you look at the options market. When we check out options, this week options chain, I have lottos for this week, but I might just sell off today at some point. Let me just pull this up here 1 sec. Let's see. Yeah, the entire market is so choppy this week, right? It's the definition of chop this week. It's up, it's down, it's sideways essentially, and that's why buying premium is so tough in this market. That being said, selling premium has been lucrative. A lot of people in our Discord have been doing covered calls on Tesla, selling puts on Tesla, and doing quite well this week. The issue I have is, implied volatility percentile is really low. And if I pull it up on my Interactive Brokers, because I have it handy, implied volatility percentile, 1 out of 100 or 0 out of 100, is 1 on a yearly basis. It's 1 or it's 3 on a 26-week basis, and it's 4 out of 100 on a 13-week basis. Mind you, this changes like every other day, every minute, really, but it's low. So you're not collecting the same amount of premium as you were before. Hey, my bot's finally working. Finally got the Streamlabs bot to work. Do you like free things? There we go. Perfect. Let's see here. DJ says, look at last week. It broke 760 multiple times. The market has been bad the last few days. Imagine if it was pumping. Yeah, it's Tesla's continuing to buck the trend, right? And 763 is really the level to look at, if we're being honest, right? And if we pull up the daily, you'll see what I'm talking about. Or 764, it looks like 764.50, because that was the high of the candle on September the 8th last week when we were pumping. We had a hard rejection off of 760. So 760 is the one that we need to look at, to be honest. Let me just make sure everything's good here. So, something to consider there. Let me pull up. Let's do the 1 minute candle so you guys can see what's happening. Look at that rally though we had. Hey, look at that rally we had from pretty much at 9 a.m. today. We had that rally come through, and quadruple witching. By the way, window dressing is also in effect in the next couple of weeks, meaning a lot of these portfolio managers, if they didn't own Tesla throughout the quarter, they might want to have shares moving forward. Welcome, James, to Patreon. Welcome to the Juju Gang. Thanks for joining. So there's that to consider as well. Let me just see here 1 sec. Pledges enabled should work. I think volume is down on them. I'm gonna have to figure out what's wrong with my whole thing here. How's implied volatility so low? Tons of volatility. Yeah, Ryan, good question, right? There's a lot here. I think the fundamental thing here is that there's not a lot of buying of calls happening, not a lot of buying of premium. And I think when that's happening, in general, options suffer. Another thing to look at is VIX, right? If you look at VIX, which is the volatility index, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, it's sitting at 19, right? It's come down a fair bit. Here's the catch-22 with watching something like VIX. When you watch VIX, right, and you see it at $22, $23, that usually means that the market is probably crashing or selling off quite a bit. That's why that's why volatility is increasing. So when the market was crashing or Tesla was, let's say, falling, implied volatility is generally going to rise. And think about why that is for a second, right? It intuitively makes sense. If you own equity, and the vast majority of investors, even portfolio managers, don't really own only options, they own shares. When you own shares and you see Tesla fall 5%, the market's crashing, what do you usually do? You buy puts. And in those events, they have a disproportionate effect on implied volatility when the stock is going down. Think about it. When the stock goes up 5%, do you log into your phone and say, I got to chase this move and buy a bunch of calls? Well, maybe if you're like me and you're a degenerate, maybe you do. Maybe if you watch this channel, you have a fun time. But the vast majority of investors out there, it's really when the stock is crashing massively that they go, shit, I really got to protect my investment and I got to buy some insurance here. So what we see in the market is a disproportionate effect on implied volatility and the market going down. That's not always the case, right? If you look at 2020 and everyone was putting their money into the stock market, we had this scenario where casinos were closed for 2020. Everyone was in the stock market. You had a lot of money into options and into premium. So there's a lot there. To kind of consider. So yeah, watch VIX as well. That's the general market volatility, goes without saying. So 7:15:13 here. Let me see if I can't fix this little timer. 1 sec. So let's edit this. Let's do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, perfect. Try to get the alert box to work as well. I think I do have the alert box on, but I'm not sure why it's not making the sounds. Oh, you know why? I think I know. Let's do 60. It was just the volume was low. DJ says, nice. I'm just trying to learn the spreads game. I can't afford a ton of shares, only sitting on 35 now, but yeah, fair enough. I mean, here's the thing. Everything, first of all, everything's relative, right? There's no little or large. It's all relative to you and your account size and your risk and whatever positions that you put on. What I think is interesting though is this generally comes from someone that only really owned Leaps entirely for the move last year. Didn't really own any equity, hindsight's 2020, but I guess in February, moving everything to equity would have been a smarter idea, or selling premium at the very least. But at the end of the day, what I think is interesting is, or what I find not concerning, but something to watch for is, when is implied volatility in the market, or specifically in Tesla, going to rise? When I look across the board on my watch list and I look at implied volatility percentile, I'm not generally excited. The highest implied volatility percentile on a yearly basis on my watch list is Apple, and it's at 11. And this watch list is a little bit smaller, so let me choose this other watch list. Yeah, Netflix is at 11 out of 100 in terms of implied volatility percentile. And you know what? That could just generally be because 2020 was so massive in implied volatility. But I want to know when implied volatility is going to go back up again. And maybe on a relative basis, it might take by next March, because that's when COVID started, remember? So, some things to consider there. By the way, I think the options chain opened up for 2024. At least that was the word on our Discord. Yes, it is. I haven't taken a look yet. January 2024 options have opened up on Tesla. So one thing that is interesting, the highest strike price I see is 1,200 on 2024. Whereas if you go to March, I think you can buy up to 1,725 strike prices, and those go for about $2,000, $2,500, considering on liquidity. 751 on Tesla for all the audio listeners here. I do have CMBS pulled up in case they have anything that that's interesting to us. Let's see here. Let's see what else is on the news here. By the way, did you guys hear Nikola is planning on selling 100 cars or something like that next year? It's not I think I saw it. I saw it retweeted by Vincent from Tasmanian. Let me see here if I can find it. No, it wasn't him. It might have been Emmett, actually. Oh, by the way, I got some news. Do you guys know Emmett Peppers? You guys probably know Emmett Peppers, but do you guys know his show Good Soil, or his hedge fund investment fund Good Soil? They do a show on Twitter, they live stream it, YouTube, they live stream it. They have a YouTube channel, check them out. I'll be co-hosting a show with Emmett on October 12th on their show. I'll be like a guest co-host since Matt's out for that week. So something to consider there. By the way, what's this? Okay, by the way, so let's see here. What a day. Hey, Gentry, how's it going, man? Gentry, miss you in Discord, man. Check us out. Come tune back in. We miss your insights. By the way, did you ever get your? I feel like you ordered a Tesla. Never. I think you got the Model Y, but I forgot. So if you guys don't know this, this gentleman on Twitter, or not Twitter, but his name is Koguan Leo. His bio says Koguan Law School, the only living Chinese that has a school named after him in China. And he is the third largest individual shareholder of Tesla. He is a friend of the show. Actually, I messaged him, I DM'd him. He's the gentleman that made news last week on Tesla Twitter saying that he's going to buy 1 million shares of Tesla. I'll Google him here. He's actually the owner, the executive chair, I think, as well, of Xi International Corporation. Worth chairman of a $10 billion sales IT Xi International, which has over 20,000 customers like Boeing and AT&T. So really successful businessman. It owns multiple businesses, certified billionaire. He's a mega Tesla bull. Right now, go follow him on Twitter. DM'd him. We're potentially scheduling him to come on the channel. He says he watches Hit That Bid, which I was honored to hear. And yeah, he's just going to come back with what availability has. So yeah, some good news there as well. Anyways, he says, haha, good idea, but I already own more Tesla shares than that of ARK Invest. I am buying more Tesla than what ARK Invest sold due to rebalancing its portfolio. Dave asks, greater than 5 million shares? And he says more than 5 million shares. That is crazy. I thought it was 1 million. That's kind of mind-blowing to me, to be honest. Yeah, that is cool, though. Again, YouTube grants us so many opportunities. I'd love to get him on, and see, and maybe we'll do like a live stream and not like a pre-recorded thing. Thanks, Tyler. That is Uncle Koguan. Okay, Harry. Let's see here. Streamlabs is bugging out. Okay, so 751 is what we got. CNBS is just pulling the same stuff all over again. I'm not going to even bother messing with CNBS. Let's see here. Okay. So, interesting to consider there. Let's just see. Go to home. So let's see here. Welcome, Kirk, to the Juju gang. Thanks for joining us on Patreon. Yeah, insert the meme. Come on, do something. So 751.72. Let's see if we can break high today. You guys know when the Juju gang comes together, there's something in the water, something in the coffee that gets Tesla stock going. So 751.62 on Tesla at the moment. Let's see if we can break high today on live on stream. Harry says Nasdaq's on high of day. Thank you, Harry. Let's check out Qs here. Let's see here. I'm not sure if they're on high of day, but they are climbing for sure. Maybe this is let's check out the Qs. It's a little bit easier to see. Oh, that's QQ. QQQ. Let's see. Qs are sitting at 376. Tesla's sitting at 751.50. Let's see. Let's see if we can break high day here, folks. Anyone else picture the Kool-Aid man when Tesla bakes their bear? He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah." That's. I wish I could pull that up. DJ says, here we go. Looks like he's buying now. Yeah. Remember, quadruple witching week is the week that you want to buy. If you're a big whale, or, I guess that's, those, you don't need to say big, but if you're a whale, you want to buy and sell massive positions during quadruple witching. Why did the S&P 500 buy on the Friday of quadruple witching? Because that's where the most liquidity is, especially on Friday and market on close orders, right? So, Alex, how's it going? What are your thoughts on Coin? I've been selling covered calls against my share. Premium's pretty good. Coin, I don't own any Coin. Hey, if it's good enough for Kathy, who am I to say? Coin's at 246, and on the daily, it's just, it's very low. Man, I remember scalping this on the day it IPO'd, and thank God I didn't buy into it, but this looks like a mess of a stock. But here's the thing. If you believe in the thesis that Bitcoin is gonna, 10x in the next year or two, I think Kathy has said that Bitcoin is going to be worth at least 5 times what it is, or 10 times what it is now in 5 years and 4 years. Then Coin can go up. But remember, the Coin has problems right now with its lend program and the SEC after it. There's some issues there that unless you really know the inner workings, and I don't, it's hard for me to speak on it, to be honest. This is why, to be honest, I get a lot of requests for, hey, can you cover Neo? Can you cover Insert? And I like all of these stocks. Zoom, Palantir. By the way, I'm long Palantir as well, just with some common shares. But it's my thought process behind stocks is really like, take a few number of them, but really dive deep into them and build a conviction on them rather than knowing every single stock. It's hard to know every single stock, know all the news in and out, have a high conviction on it, be able to follow every single piece of news or FUD that comes out. It's just hard. So that's why predominantly on this channel, we do follow Tesla. That's kind of our favorite stock on this channel. But in terms of Coin, probably a Discord ARK Invest question or crypto question. I know there's some people I think that are long Coin on there. Let's see here. Um, 9-1 says Ryan. Is that a split theory you got? Okay, let me know in the comments if you're listening and you're available to type and not driving. Do you think Tesla splits their stock? Let me know, yes or no. And give me a thesis if you want behind it, but you can just say yes or no. Do you think Tesla splits the stock this year, 2021? By the end of this year? I think there's a lot of people that are thinking yes. I'm on the camp that probably Tesla needs to pass $1,000, $1,200 first for that to be a thing. But I'd like to know what you guys think. Tesla will split at 2K again, says DJ. Lambda says no. Stock split late 2022, 2023, says Gentry. Ryan says 9-1. Tesla closed at 734. October 1, 790 strike closed at 11. Today Tesla's up at 715. Calls worth 5. Yeah, premium decay right there. No, says Gonzalo. Mr. says no. Quarter 3 says Geo. Amir says no. Alex says no. Split at 1,000. Yes. So really everyone, welcome Paco. Really everyone is saying no now, which I find so interesting because I remember second quarter earnings call, everyone was saying yes in our chat. I guess time has passed since then, but Emmanuel, how's it going? Emmanuel, I gotta make you a mod, by the way. I totally thought I did that, but I didn't. Let me see here. Not this year until 2022. I think that's probably a fair. I think that's probably a fair guess. Like at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, but I really don't. Like I wouldn't bet on it. There was a date last quarter that everyone's like, oh, Elon's giving hints, and today's going to be the day. But yeah, it didn't happen. End of October, says Michael. Okay, interesting. What does Gary Black say? Well, Gary Black was really like pro split, like it was going to happen. And then when it didn't, everyone just kind of dropped it, to be honest. So I haven't heard from him about his thesis since then. I appreciate that. So yes, if I need more mods, I'll let you know. Emmanuel's our one of our VIP Discord, Patreon, whatever you want, like super awesome VIP member of supporter of the channel. So I've meant to put him on mod last week, but I totally forgot. But I appreciate it. I'll keep I'll keep that in mind. The slow rise over the past while tell me no. Yeah. Let's see here. So if you want to join our Discord where we talk stock all day, if you want to support the channel essentially, and you get Discord access from it, link is in the description. But we are totally good on mods for now. We have like 4, I think I want to say at this point. But I appreciate it. Okay, so 751 on Tesla. Here's where I see Tesla throughout the next couple of days. So my thesis was that we're going to see more volume on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday than we would on Thursday and Friday, barring Friday market on close orders, right? Because that's, we know for a fact that that's going to be massive. But if we check out the daily and we check out the volume, Monday was pretty decent. Monday we had, well, thanks for subscribing, William. Monday we had 22.9 million shares traded. Tuesday we had 18.5 million shares traded. So pretty decent. Today we've only had about 9.3 million shares traded, and we still have 2.5 hours left here, so we still have time. But it's interesting. Yes, Harry's saying thoughts on the 85,000 put contracts on at 700 expiring. I've gotten a lot of questions on YouTube comments really about the open interest sitting at 700 for this week. And let me just see if I can pull up open interest here and keep it pretty neat. So let's take a look here. Change, let's take out last. Okay, open interest. Remember, open interest is always going to be high at 700, at 750, at 800, right? Whole numbers are always going to have massive open interest on them. If we pull up the open interest here, and let's try to make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. You guys know that I generally do not really care for open interest. And if you want to know why, go watch the Jim Cramer video where he talks about hedge funds manipulating. It's on YouTube. And one of the strategies that they have is buy up cheap options or puts or calls, whatever it might be, to make the perception that there's a big, strong move coming and then put out FUD. Specifically, he talks about this, I believe, allegedly on his YouTube. Okay, so check that out. That clip is not really that hard to find, but it is not officially out. He put it down. So there's something there to consider, right? And remember, if you're looking at open interest for something like 700, these are selling for 70 cents. And there's 85,000 open interest, right? So there's 85,000 outstanding contracts of 700 strike puts. But it's relatively cheap. And remember, if it's quadruple witching and a hedge fund or a portfolio or a market maker is trying to balance their deltas, this may be a strategy that they implement where they buy cheap out the money deltas. And remember, you get about a 5 delta on this, right? So you get a negative 5 delta for every contract that you buy of this 700 strike put. Maybe they're offsetting delta. Maybe they're offsetting, gamma risk. Like, who knows what they're potentially doing? So I don't look at open interest and just go, oh, there's the most. Like, I know a lot of people do this, and granted, I said this in a video. Like, you guys have been way more right with Max Payne than I ever thought Max Payne would ever be in the last 6 months, because I don't really use Max Payne. I don't really look at Max Payne too much. So just take this with a grain of salt. But again, open interest, I look at it and I don't necessarily get excited because there's a large portion of outstanding contracts there. Because remember, if I go to 800 and I go to 800 calls, look, I have 24,000 open interest, and 24,000 is not a massive amount compared to 85, but there could be a multitude of reasons as to why that is. So I guess your thesis could be as good as mine. Don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yes. So I sold one of those for a lot more than 70, says Boyle. Yeah. How much did you sell it for? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell me, but um, I think those were trading for pretty expensive, right? On Discord, I got a question. Can you talk about the Kelly criterion on build on how to know a few stocks really well and bet accordingly? Yeah, the Kelly criterion it's an asset allocation and money management type of system. I don't have to Google exactly what it is here, so I don't butcher it. Yes. So you know who talks about this? Well, not necessarily outstandingly talks about this, but Emmett Peppers talks about this in the risk reward. One thing I noticed with Emmett, he's really good on calculating risk reward, really well, and like on the fly. Like he can calculate risk reward on the fly, calculate probability, and see if it's worth betting on something. Like that's what I've noticed with him. He's really awesome at that. The Kellyan criterion. Thanks for bringing this up on Discord, Nay 2008. It's an optimal betting example. The usefulness, and I'm trying to zoom in here. The usefulness of the Kelly bet amount can be realized by comparing it to other gambling strategies. In a study, each participant was given $25 and was asked to place even money bets on a coin that would land heads 60% of the time. Participants had 30 minutes to play, so could place about 300 bets, and the prizes were capped at $250. I'm going to make this here. At $250. The Kelly bet in this scenario is 20%, which works out to about a 2% average gain each round. The average expected earnings with 300 rounds works out to 10,500 if it were not capped. But the behavior of the test subjects was far from optimal. Remarkably, 28% of participants went bust. The average payout was just $91. Only 21% of the participants reached the max. 18 out of the 61 bet everything on one toss, while 2/3 gambled on tails at some stage in the experiment. If the bettors had followed the Kelly bet, 94% of the participants would have expected to reach the cap. Can you believe that, right? Where you know heads is going to be 60% of the time, and you're giving $25 to place even money bets on that. And yet, so people were betting all in one, people were betting on tails. So I think this is a lesson. And we learned something similar to this in econometrics in university, where, you know, at the end of the day, and Siraja, if you haven't watched that video that I did with Siraja the Prophet, go watch that. Human nature is really not perfect. It's far from perfect, in fact, right? Human nature, human psychology it's funny because we often make our decisions first and then we rationalize backwards. I think Aristotle said that. You know, we emotionally make our decisions first and then we rationalize backwards to find some sort of way that we can justify it, right? So yeah, Joshua says, does anyone understand what's happening with Tesla out of the money long dated options? They're going down no matter what. Yeah, essentially what we're seeing is a slow bleeding. It's a slow bleeding of premium, essentially. So that's essentially what we're seeing. Let me look. Boyle says he sold that same $700 put for $644. Wow. Hey, great move. You took some premium out of that. Nice work. So 752. All right, we're just about to, here we go. We're retesting highs here, folks. All right, Tesla, I think just made a new high, 752.42, beating the old high by, I think, a penny. So we just made a new high. Juju gang is real. The algo works apparently. We got the Juju algo. Let's see where we end the day. I'm pretty stoked with over a 750 close. Let me know what you guys are looking for in terms of a close on the day, but I think 750 is decent. Remember, 763 or 764 is the next level. On top of that, then 780 are the two levels to look at. I have weak as near, says Harry. Yep, I hope so. Come on, Juju, says Paco. It'll run up a power hour. I feel it. Yes, I'm probably not going to be around for power hour for the last hour of trading today, but let's see how long we go on stream. How many likes do we have on this right now? Let me just take a look. 153. And there's 400, how many people watching? 350 people watching. Let's see if we can get up to 200. Would appreciate a like. Let's see if we can get up to 200 on 167. All right, I see it going up. You know what? 183. I appreciate that, folks. I never really look at likes, but now it's actually updating in real time. So I like that. Let's see here. 193, so close. 197. There we go. Thank you, folks. Liked. I think we hit, there we go. We hit over 200. There we go. Salah, welcome to the Juju gang. Appreciate the Patreon subscription. Thank you. Catch you on Discord. Just connect your Discord into your Patreon for everyone listening that's joining Patreon. Connect your Discord into there, and yeah. Remember, good Juju only in there, and yeah, let's have a good time. Let's see here. 754.30 is the high of the week, says Harry. Okay, let's take a look here. 751.68 for all the audio listeners here. Thanks for liking walking. Sleepwalking capsules, I like the name. How's the market doing otherwise? Let's see here. Anything outstanding? Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin at? Let me just take a look. Bitcoin's at 48 grand. 48,200. Okay, decent. Looks like it was a little bit higher before, but I'll take it. I don't. You guys know I don't really care for Doge, but I have it here. Apparently it's popping. I don't know what happened. If there's some news out, if Elon tweeted about it, but Ethereum is doing decent at 3,500. ADA, I don't have ADA in here. I don't know why I don't have it in my watch list. 255. You guys know I'm long on ADA. Guys, here's a problem, and I'm not going to spend too much time on crypto, but I'm buying way too many NFTs on Cardano, or CNFTs on Cardano. I joked around on Twitter last week or a couple weeks ago saying everyone's talking about NFTs, and the minute I get in, the top's in. I bought a couple of NFTs or CNFTs, Cardano NFTs, and I gotta say I'm pretty addicted. Pretty addicted. I don't know why. It's a bad addiction. Brian, how's it going, man? Saw you on Oregon Cashflow Pro the other day. Yeah, James's channel is awesome. I see you in there all the time. Thanks for commenting as well. Love your videos. Yes, DJ said that pulled out at 70% max profit. I learned in the past with Apple, Microsoft. Yeah, when you're selling premium, you generally don't want to wait for it to expire worthless. You'd rather close it at, let's say, 50% max profit and then roll out if you need to, because it's that last little week or two of trading on that premium that it'll just wildly fluctuate. So you'll be up 50%. You won't cap it, and then you'll be down all of a sudden for a day or two, and then maybe you'll close it, and then maybe it expires worthless, and now you're managing things way too much. Guys, the garbage truck is back, okay? And I have amazing filters on my microphone now, so I'm pretty confident you guys can hear that. And you guys think I'm lying about the garbage trucks, right? You guys always think I'm lying about the garbage truck. Check this out. Where'd it go? Gosh. Okay, there it is. Folks, I'm not lying. I had some people on Discord, I'm not gonna blame anyone, say there's no garbage truck. You're like, yes, you're lying. I'm not lying. There's literally garbage trucks. We have a bar behind where we live here. And there's like, beer trucks coming, garbage trucks coming for recycling for like 4 condos. Yeah. I predict an NA group will form soon. NFTs Anonymous. Yeah, honestly. Hey, Manuel, it's your fault that say that tongue in cheek. It's your fault that I'm into NFTs, man. You're like I go into some. I'm always open minded. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. And then I see what you're doing with Cardano City. I'm like, I got to get into this sort of stuff. I'm happy. I found Clay Nation. It's a good project. It's a good project. I like it. They look pretty creepy, if you ask me. But the floor on those things are like 500 ADA now. They minted for 40. I bought them in the secondary market for like 74. So new high, 752.77. This strength is pretty consistent. If you take a look here, we're just following the 9 moving average up, the 9-minute moving average up. On the 5-minute, we're a little bit extended off of the 9. I know you guys like Bollinger Bands. We're on the top end of the Bollinger Band here, but we're doing pretty decent. Yeah, Joshua says, why is Tesla having a slow bleeding of premium? It seems to happen all of a sudden where it stopped moving based on underlying price. Could have been coordinated. I don't necessarily think it's coordinated. I think it's a lack of catalysts coming up. Like we have earnings coming up. Let's talk about catalysts for a second. Generally, other than earnings, there's no real like event catalyst that's coming up, right? We have earnings. I guess you could say we have deliveries coming out in about 3 weeks here, so that'll be good. Earnings, deliveries, right? Whereas in the past, even like you talk about AI Day, and it wasn't supposed to be a catalyst. It wasn't even supposed to be for investors. But I do think there was a general degree of catalyst built into AI Day, Battery Day, like all these events carry, Plaid S delivery event, like all these carry some sort of implied volatility, albeit maybe little. I think where we are right now is the catalysts are in the fundamentals at the moment. Meaning, in my opinion, I think the massive and big catalyst that I think is being missed is that Austin is about to open. In fact, we actually got news today from Austin that people are seeing Model Y castings going to the dump yard, meaning that confirming almost that they're working on machinery to finalize the Model Y castings there. Berlin is essentially gotten its pre-approval for everything almost. It's just needs a stamp of approval. Like within a matter of weeks, maybe a month or two factories opening. Yeah, exactly. DJ says the same thing. 2 factories opening up and earnings. That's it really. But I say that facetiously because 2 factories opening up is just so massive, right? It's just so massive. And here's where you can differ on perspective, right? And people that watch this channel are generally probably long Tesla, believe in Tesla's mission. Here's where I'm almost seeing like 2 paths for the average investor. We have Tesla bulls that think, okay, Austin or Berlin, massive production is about to come in. It's going to be crazy. And then on the other end, it's great. Tesla Q really is production is going to be massive. And this is going to show that Tesla has a demand problem, which I don't believe for a second. So that's where, I think there is some separation. And like, I almost like these moments because it's make or break. Like we're going to know. Thanks for subscribing, Richard Mill. Man, Richard Mill subscribing to this channel. Give me a watch. It's we're about to see in a year's time, really, how massive of a difference on deliveries Austin and Berlin are going to make. Remember, Austin is huge, like huge. And Brian probably knows how many square feet or square meters it is, but it's huge. Yeah, their demand problem, Ben says it's that they have too much demand. Yeah. And remember, in Europe, Tesla's selling cars more expensive. So when Berlin comes online, they can lower the cost. And yes, that's probably going to be part of a new FUD storm when they lower the cost. But DJ says, isn't Berlin opening up October 1st? Is it? Is that the date that's set now? I might have missed it. Let's see here. Boyle says, I think the big question for new factories is how long before they can get volume production going. I think China answered that question to a large extent, though. Remember, China, I always give Shanghai a lot more credit than I think the average person. I think China can move at warp fast speed. Like, it's just crazy how good manufacturing is in China. I don't believe for a second the whole, Chinese manufacturing is bad quality. I had someone back when we were manufacturing stuff out of China for an old business that we had. They said, they're like, if you want the good quality stuff, or if you want the bad quality stuff, come to China. If you want the good quality stuff, go across the street. like everything exists there, right? Like the grade A stuff, the AAA stuff, the really like the bottom of the barrel stuff, everything. You can find any quality of stuff there. So I think China, with respect to China and Tesla shifting China really to be a manufacturing export plant, is interesting. I almost feel like that move was in retribution to a lot of the German red tape that was going on, and flooding the market in Europe with these made in China Model 3s and Model Ys, because it puts more pressure on the government to hurry up and get those deliveries locally made first. Like, why would they want to sit back and have China, or all these, made in China cars come into Europe when quite literally Tesla is almost ready to build out of Berlin? Like, it just looked embarrassing for them. So I almost looked at it like a flex by Elon or by Tesla team to just export almost everything out of China. Because, and then there's the argument that, China, there's a lack of demand and all this sort of stuff. We'll find out September. Remember, last month of the quarter is when usually manufacturing is reserved for local. So something to take in consideration there. DJ says just wait until India agrees. Yeah, I'm not totally bullish on the Indian market being huge. I think the infrastructure is not in place there, obviously. Like quite literally, I think infrastructure is going to be a big problem with India. But like a lot of you guys say, a lot of you guys are smart. It's going to be big because energy, right? Tesla energy, and where that goes, who knows? If I knew, then I'd be a lot more smarter than I am. But Tesla energy could potentially be very big, and Tesla India, it's really, I think, a recruiting play. Like, if you talk about the world's engineers, vast majority of them, no secret stereotype, are from India, come to the US on visas, on work visas. So I think production with COVID and all this sort of stuff, and that stopped a lot of the recruitment of I think it's H1B visas. I'm not sure what it's called in the US, but I think human capital is a big part of it. Michael says Shanghai did 110,000 in its first year. This was facing COVID and chip shortages too. But first year is also setting up supply chain. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think it's probably going to take a year to really hit volume. Like, look at Shanghai; it's still ramping up. Like, what August was, I want to say 42,000 cars were made in Shanghai, right? Let's see here. Yeah, Michael says China will hit an annualized 500K this quarter. Yes, that's what Troy Teslake actually had said last night, was that Tesla Shanghai annualizes about a little bit over 500,000 by itself. So, yeah, it's, well, I guess annualized, right, for the month. So August annualized, which is not, well, yeah, I guess that's probably fair. Thanks for subscribing, y'all. So the EV credit here brings up the EV credit. So we potentially might get more news on the EV stuff or the EV credit. It's not final yet. If you guys don't know, there's some legislation potentially being passed about, if you're a union, you get X more off. If you're American, you get this much off. And the big gripe, Rob Maurer went off on Twitter the other day, which I haven't really seen Rob get mad, but it's not like I know Rob personally. But Rob went off, justifiably so. Can anyone in the way means center or committee justify a $9,000 credit for vehicles with a 7 kilowatt hour battery pack? Batteries which cost less than $1,000. This is an egregious waste of resources, ensures the US falls behind in new energy vehicles, and enables further destruction of our environment. Yeah, the whole plug-in hybrid. Here's the problem at a consumer level, and you can argue plug-in hybrids equally as bad as ICE vehicles in terms of climate. But let's look at it at a consumer level. The reason why we didn't want to buy a plug-in hybrid was, first of all, it's not real. Like, you get maybe, I'm not sure how many kilometers, like 50, 100, not even 100 kilometers of range on it. But the big problem with plug-in is I still have to do oil changes. I still have to replace XYZ ICE pack. Like, all of the problems of an ICE vehicle, it's not like I lose with the plug-in hybrid. That was the real issue, right? And so Rob was going off, tagging all of the senators, using his clout, tagging Biden. Any automaker lobbying for a structure like this should be ashamed of themselves. And then tags Ford, GM, Jim Farley, Mary Barra, Mr. Levine, Mike Levine from Ford. So yeah, he went off. I said it was a bailout in disguise. I think that goes without saying. But man, I really do think plug-in hybrids should not be a part of it. By the way, it looks like we just made a new high on Tesla 753. 753. Welcome, not financial advice. How's it going? New high a day. Yeah, hybrids are slow. Yeah, says Blake. Yeah, I don't even like. Here's the thing: everyone likes to argue about everything, right? First of all, that goes without saying. But I think the real gripe I have with plug-in hybrids, it's not even a gripe that, if you own a plug-in hybrid, I'm not calling you out. But the problem we had with plug-in hybrids was that the reason why electric vehicles are superior, in my opinion, is because you don't have to do a lot of the maintenance that is required with an ICE motor, an ICE engine, right? 750, 350, folks. High of day here. By the way, our dog wants to go 1 sec. We're dog sitting right now. And her name is Ovi. She wants to come in, say hi. See if she can say hi. Oh, she's too big for a lapdog. 754, folks. 754. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. 754 on the stock. Pretty good strength, right? Pretty good strength here. Paco says, I think it closes at 758. Let's see. On the 5-minute, this is the chart, the way that we're looking at for the day. Let's do the hourly graph for a second. So essentially, it looks like we reversed right off of all of the weakness that we had yesterday. Made a pop off, had a bull flag, consolidated a bit on the hourly, and now we're breaking past this 755 area. Remember, 763, 764 is the level that we're looking at next. Let's see how long it takes for us to get there. Juju Gang, how's it going? Brian says, I used to drive a Kia Soul EV. It's 5 years old now. Not a repair since then ever. Yeah, Kia Soul EVs are decent. You can find them actually in dealerships more than like the Hyundai Kona, which is actually pretty legit too. The big problem I have with non-Tesla EVs is there's no supercharging dedicated network. We have Electrified Canada. It's crap. We have, you guys know, we have Electrify America all over the States, but it's not like the supercharging network, right? So Alex says, what tool is that? This is Webull, affiliate of the channel. Plug, hashtag ad, get your 2 free stocks with Webull. Link is literally above you, I think, in the comment by Streamlabs. Yes, yeah, used prices of Teslas are insane. Yeah, our used Prius plug-in hybrid is great while we wait for a 4-hour 2 Cybertrucks. Nice, yes, nice. Yeah, used Tesla prices are nuts, right? And let me see if I can find some used Teslas on Craigslist. Like used Teslas, I think are going for pretty much what we paid for our Tesla last December. Kind of nuts. Actually kind of nuts. Let's see here. Yeah, we're having a good market day here. Tesla Model 3. Let me pull this up if you can find it. So check this out, okay? On Craigslist. A Tesla Model 3 2018 mid-range. Hold on. What's mid-range? What's the range on this guy? Tesla Model 3 mid-range with 45K. Was there a mid-range model? I thought there was a long range and the standard range plus. Is that what this has got to be the standard range plus. Let's see if we can get a screenshot of the dash. Let's see here. But anyways, it's selling for sticker, right? 53,900. That is what on Tesla's website right now. If I go to Tesla Canada, Pardon the currency difference, but bear with me here. Model 3, if I custom order a Model 3, it's 52,999. So 2018 Model 3, I'm guessing this is a standard range. Yeah, it's probably the standard range plus. Is literally sticker price. Because, and how long does it take to order this thing? Here's one problem I have with Tesla Canada now is like, we don't have delivery estimates anymore. I go into the States, I'm pretty sure it gives me how many weeks are available until the delivery. Estimated delivery on a Model 3 Standard Range Plus is February. And we talked about this on August 23rd, I believe, when we had our live stream. Was, I was having doubts about why such a long wait time. And yes, I mean, demand is off the roof. Demand is always off the roof. But, chip shortages. And since then, it came out that Tesla is having a huge supply challenge with the standard ranges. And then they're going to be importing, if you want, LFP batteries in from China. So J Min says the mid-range came out before the standard range plus was out. Gotcha. Thank you, J Min. So 260 miles, I'm guessing, is what you're saying, right? So that's about 400. Yeah. So this is the same as a standard range plus. So yeah, it's probably just labeled that. Thank you, J Min. Because now, well, I guess battery tech is different, but now 260 is about the miles that we get on the standard range. By the way, whenever you look at the price for a Tesla Model 3 in like US dollars, I'm like 34 grand. Like that is so cheap. And then I remember, oh yeah, I'm in US dollars. I'm not in Canadian dollars. Canadian dollars, it's 53. It doesn't feel the same. But we get about $8,000 worth of credits in BC here. So really, I mean, you're not seeing much depreciation. Look at this Tesla Model 3 2019 for 48 grand. You're at $4,000 worth of depreciation over, so 7% depreciation, maybe even less, after 2.5 years, 3 years. So yeah, pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Hey, Juju Gang. Thank you, McCann, for that cool GIF. I like it. 750, almost 5. 755. There we go. I think we hit it. Let me check the high of the day. I think we flirted with it. Yeah, we hit 755, pardon me, on Tesla. So the Juju Gang, Juju's working. It's working here. It's a wall, says DJ. Let's see. I think 764 might be more of a wall, but to be determined. Let's take a look here. You guys are wondering like what's happening with my hand. She's not letting me not pet her. We're dog sitting for the week. She's so cute. Cannot pet her. Let's see here. Alex says back to Monday prices. It's such a roller coaster, isn't it? Like, it's just hilarious. Where are we? 755. Ovi is a good luck charm on Tesla here. Since she's entered the room, we've rallied about $5. Got the Ovi hype in the chat. So Inspiration 4 is launching today at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be very cool to watch. It's about 5 p.m. Pacific. Yes, I'm really inspired to see that. I'm really excited to see the Inspiration 4 launch. Oh my God, check this out. Check out this piece of news from Phil LeBeau. Walmart to test self-driving cars in multiple cities with Ford and Argo AI. Well, if was that Ford or was that, yeah, well, that was a Ford car. Remember when Sandy Munro went in that Ford car and the highway was making like a 2-degree turn and like it was the Blues hands-off system? How much to keep her in the room? Yes. This is hilarious. I don't even want to click on this. Whenever I see stuff, screw it. I'll save you guys a click. I'll click on it. Walmart is expanding its partnerships with self-driving vehicles companies to include Ford Motor and Argo AI. The company said Wednesday that the collaboration will utilize Ford Escape hybrids with Argo AI tech for Walmart deliveries in Miami. Man, shout out to Miami, by the way. Miami is really leading the way in all things new age, new tech, Bitcoin, all this sort of stuff, Hyperloop, and Austin as well. So Walmart's expanding to include Ford and Argo AI. Company said Wednesday in Miami. The program will allow Walmart customers to place groceries and other items online for door-to-door autonomous delivery. Ford and Walmart operated a pilot program with self-driving vehicles in 2018. Yes, we all know how that went. The retail giant currently operates self-driving pilots with Gatik and GM-backed Cruise. I actually not. Pardon me. I think it was the GM. It was the Cruise blue hands-off. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see how it goes. By the way, I was blown away. You want out? Okay, hold on. Gotta let her out. Okay. Go. Picture was getting hot. Folks, when I live stream, I literally have to close the windows, make sure that there's no external noise. I'm sweating as well. Not financial advice. Says my 90-year-old grandma deals with curves better than 40. Michael's upset I let her out. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see how Tesla performs. 750, 350. You guys are hilarious. Oh, yes. Check this out. I want to show you guys what Whole Mars posted on Tesla FSD beta. Let me see here. Thought it was pretty legit. Let's check this out. Check this out, okay? Let's see, was this the better one for us to do? Let's see here. Wait, this wasn't the video. I think I want to do this one. Number 4, 2, 3. Okay, right here. So check out this video. 4-way stop. FSD beta stops. Kind of the California style. Okay, come to a full stop. This car right here is trying to do one of those U-turns on you that you don't know what's happening. And then they're waiting for you. It's kind of the chicken and egg scenario. Everyone else has stopped, which is good. FSD takes control, turns left, stops, waits for that car to pull a UE around it, makes that full turn, which, you know, is pretty close to what I'd probably do. If not, I'd probably just wave the guy through to do the U-turn. Then in this city street, this van passes the other van. It overtakes it. Again, there's no solid yellow line, so this is totally illegal. Passes that, right? And welcome, Daniel. And I think it hits a stop and does a right turn after this. I just think it's nuts. Let's see here. So here's a stop sign. So remember, this is beta, right? So no one's touching the wheel, to my knowledge, or the accelerator or the pedal. And stops and goes through that stop sign perfectly. And goes around this corner, another stop sign here. It's just, and by the way, mind you, this is San Francisco, I believe, I want to say. So data here is really, like, it's top notch. And then it runs into a car. I'm not sure what brand company that is, but it has LiDAR on top, I believe, and radar and all that sort of stuff attached to it. Might be a Waymo, who knows. And yeah, turns right. So, you know, there's a lot of naysayers on FSD, but really, like, watching this sort of, like, especially that 4-way turn, especially this four-way with this guy trying to pull a UE and the cyclist going, and then it recognizing that everyone's waiting for it, and this guy's moving, yet FSD still goes. Like, it's kind of crazy to me to see that. I really want to get my hands, or at least drive. I did get a DM. What's this? Yes, Kellen, thanks for tagging me in this. I did get a DM from Frappe, Frappe, I'll just say that, tagging me in this tweet saying FSD beta makes its way to Canada. And if anyone's listening and you're in Vancouver and you're a Tesla employer or something, you have FSD beta, can you please let me try it? Like, I want to sit in the passenger seat. I'll wear my mask. I'll wear 2 masks. I promise. I'm double vaxxed. I'm in. I need to try this thing. Yeah, Boyle says, so your wave comment triggered a thought for me. How does an AI vehicle wave at someone to indicate them that you agree for them to turn their move? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. One thing is true, I guess, is like maybe the autonomous vehicle can read hand signals. Like, you know, if someone like whatever hand signals it might be. Like, I think hand signals are a big portion of driving. I don't know, maybe that's just a Canadian thing, but like, waving people through or like telling someone that you're coming. Um, yeah. Bex says, have you discussed Elon's Juju shirt with Kanye West? Yes, we've talked about that on this. Yeah, Elon got caught wearing a Juju Gang shirt. Always knew he was Team Juju. And yeah, I should probably make that like my Twitter profile, my wallpaper or something. Yeah, haven't talked to Kanye since then, unfortunately. So Drive Tesla's reporting, seeing reports that the Hyundai Iconic 5 is delayed. This is not new. The website has shown this since early July. So some more delays here. Folks, the auto industry is just going nuts in terms of delays. It's just it's crazy. So Kathy Wood has a thesis, right? Her thesis is that the delays that we're seeing, or the pushing of production, the lack of demand, the lack of deliveries for a large portion of the auto market is not just pertinent to chip shortages, but it's consumer confidence into ICE vehicles dropping. So her thesis, her bold thesis, and she could very well be proven right in the next couple of years, we'll find out, is that it's not even that there's that much of a chip problem. It's that people are buying less ICE vehicles because they want to wait for their next EV, and they're holding out for that. And we replace our phones every single, maybe every year, every 2 years, every, how long you guys go with your phones. Let me know in the chat how long you guys last with your iPhone or Android. For me, I'm averaging about 2 years, I want to say, between phones. It's not a lot, I know. It's pretty bad. I have a bad track record with keeping my phone not cracked. But, with a car, though, that turnaround time is less frequent. You don't change cars every year unless you're leasing or, you're a hot shot. You probably change a car, like, on average. I could probably Google this. How long? Welcome to subscribing. Welcome to subscribing. Welcome, Michael. How long do people keep cars? Let's see. 5 years. Okay, so Google says, and we all know we can trust Google. And of course, we do things differently than Americans who are keeping their cars 5.1 years on average before trading them in. How long do Canadians keep their cars? I'm curious to see on that. Canadians are keeping their cars 6.4 years. So let's call it 5 to 6 years is how long people are keeping their cars before trading them in. So we're going to see a large ICE a shift into EVs, but it's going to take a longer time than it did with iPhones, for example. 754.60 on Tesla stock for the audio listeners. Joshua, how's it going? What's up, Yashu? Did you see the Koguan Lee Twitter? I'm holding more than 5 million Tesla shares. Yes, we just talked about that probably in the first 10, 15 minutes of the stream. So if you want to watch that, feel free to go back. Yeah, Harry says time to stockpile cash to buy the Starlink IPO. That could be a 20 bagger. Yeah, so the Starlink IPO, Elon has said he's going to try to reward long-term Tesla shareholders. Welcome, Michael, on a channel member. Welcome. And I got questions about how is Elon going to know who's a long-term shareholder of Tesla? Like, how will he Starlink? How will he IPO Starlink? My guess is as good as yours. Maybe every Tesla shareholder receives a dividend, and every Tesla shareholder, as per X date in the past, receives a dividend or receives an invitation, or I'm not sure. Maybe there's if you guys know on how Elon could logistically do that, I have no idea. But he said he wants to reward long-term Tesla shareholders. Starlink is going to be massive. I think so too. The problem with Starlink is censorship. Countries like China or the CCP, to be more specific, I'm sure they don't appreciate Starlink. Remember, there's censorship of different sites in many different countries. Using CCP as an example, Starlink can bypass through that. Like, all you need is a little modem, and you can run your own internet connection independent of the government, right? So, Yeah, there's a lot here. But remember, disruption is often good. Like, companies that are disruptive, in my opinion, often get a lot more flack than they deserve, not because they should, but because, disruption is not, you don't make anyone really happy when you disrupt. Like, you talk about EVs, you're not making ICE manufacturers happy by popularizing EVs and having all their customers call you and be like, when are you guys coming out with an EV? Like, I'm sure Ford gets calls all the time, like, can you guys make more EVs? I can't get one. Like, I'm sure they don't like it, and especially if it's not your core competency as an automaker. You know, Justin says, "Thanks for your content. Love getting ripped and geeking out on your data. You rock, my friend." Appreciate that, Justin. Much love. DJ says he'll roll out Starlink under Tesla stock and apply an ex-dividend date. Interesting. I don't know how the logistics would work on that. You sound like you do. So like maybe he could go, is what you're saying is like, they could go, anyone that was a Tesla shareholder as of, insert date in 2020 or in 2021 gets invitation to buy, like, whatever that might be. Oh, 100% my guess. Yes. Tesla has all the necessary info about shareholders in that's true. That's true. So like what if you own like one share though? I'm sure a lot of people probably own a couple of shares. Like, would that be equal? Or is it weighted on distribution of how many shares you own? Or is it just an invitation? Like, a lot of questions. But a year and a half, 2 years away from that, probably. There was rumors about PSTH merging into Starlink. And Marco, if you're watching this, you probably remember all too well about our conspiracy theories going on there. But yes, Jan says refrigerator manufacturers did not make ice manufacturers happy either. Yes, the icebox industry was huge, and we talked about this on the channel. I learned about this in the history of economics. A lot of South American companies detested refrigerator companies because of the icebox industry. If you're old enough to remember, I'm definitely not, but iceboxes, everyone had one in their front yards where the ice was put in to put all your meats and your cheeses and stuff. And when refrigerators came around post electricity, I believe everyone, a lot of these icebox industry lobbyists and stuff were dramatically opposed against the refrigeration industry. And I believe I still haven't verified which South American country actually banned refrigeration. So yeah, let's see. Refrigerate. Probably not the best thing to Google during a live stream, but so yeah, there's a lot. Disruption is usually not welcome, is what we should say. 754.60, folks, we're doing well. We're slowly but surely creeping up. I think when we went live at 10:10. What were we at? We were at everywhere. We were at 750. Okay, so about a $5 move up. Feels like it's more. Feels like it's more than that. So 755 seems like we're probably on our way up to retest these highs. That being said, we're a little bit removed on the 30-minute. Like we're extended a little bit past the 9. So potentially we might see a little bit of pullback consolidation back into the, let's go in the hourly for a second. Yeah, so we're often always on the hourly going to get a retest back into supply. So 750, 748. Who knows if that might be quick or sudden or even go lower than that, or who knows. But it looks like we're probably going to have some consolidation here before we run again. So I wish. Actually, I don't wish. Yeah, Redwood is interesting. I saw Redwood being talked about on with Emmett and Matt on their channel yesterday. JD is I'm sure he did quite well with Tesla, but as Matt said yesterday, it was he left Tesla right before the really big moonshot of Tesla stock, so you can't help but kind of feel for him. But I'm sure he did very well. Like, I'm sure he had options and it wasn't a significant portion that hurt him, but. Yeah, he's definitely the brains of a lot of it. Juju to the moon. How's it going? Whatever. Michael says, what do you think of Koguan Leo? It seems like his buying is changing some of the dynamics this week. When did the dog come into the room? Well, he's been buying for a while, I believe, because I did Google his name. I'll pull it up here. I did Google his name and I found, I just quite literally found this on, well, I'm not sure how long before this. This might not be the first one, but I did find this, like, I'm not sure if this is an SEC. It says it's an LEI reporting. Not entirely sure, but it's his Tesla Holding LLC. You know, he has accountants probably doing all this sort of stuff for him. But it looks like he had some, he had active dates in August for buying Tesla shares. So, that's why I'd love to, Koguan, if you're listening, we'd love to book a time in and have you on the channel, ask all these questions. I think he's going on with Dave Lee, I believe, before. So we might get that interview out and all these questions answered. A lot of questions. Really interesting dude. What app are you using? Dumb question. Not a dumb question at all, Ryan. This is Webull. We are partnered with, affiliated with, or I am with Webull. If you want your 2 free stocks that you get, you can help support the channel as well. Link is in the description or the pinned comment, I believe. Yes, he's open to it, but wants to buy his position first. I think he's bought over 1 million by now. If he's saying that he's buying 5 million, I'm sure he's bought over 1 million by now. Yeah, folks, who do you think is going to run the earnings call? Here he says, JB used to run the earnings calls. Who like, is Zach going to run? Zachary Kirkhorn, CFO, is he going to run it? Is it Drew Bagolino? Like, who would run the earnings call? Because we're going to find out in a couple of weeks, like in probably a month, that Elon is not going to be running the earnings call anymore, right? Thank you, Gonzalo. Thanks for joining. Justin says, Juju, I'm currently buying 1 share every 2 weeks. What's my optimal strategy when making those buys? Obviously not, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. I think dollar cost averaging is, it's hard to go wrong with dollar cost averaging on stocks that you have conviction on. Like, do your DD on stocks and whatever it might be that you're buying. But if you read any investing books for the long haul, Warren Buffett, really anyone, Peter Lynch, like dollar cost averaging into stocks, because here's the thesis: is you can't predict in the long or in the short term really what's going to happen in the next minute, right? I mean, a lot of us try, a lot of us look at trends and look at support and resistance, but we don't know at the end of the day what external factors, what news story is going to come out. So that being said, starting with the thesis that we don't know anything, right? That's the number one rule: is that I'm an idiot, not you, but I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. Anything can happen. That's the number one thesis that you got to start really anything in terms of business with, and that you have to be able to pivot. Dollar cost averaging and just buying, let's say on a regular schedule, or just, certain days that you feel that are good, that are red, or, you feel good about it. And just over the long haul, if your goal is long-term accumulation, I think that's the best way to go about it. Yeah. You guys are saying Kirkhorn. On the last call, you could hear Zach wanted to say more, but Elon kept talking. Yeah, it's nice to hear a tidbit here or there, but we get more from Twitter. Yeah, that's true. Any chance we retest 200-day? Let me check. 200-day is sitting at 691. Any chance we retest it today? I mean, definitely. I mean, I would say very low probability of retesting it today. The thing with the 200-day now is that we do have levels in place. Like, 730 is kind of this level that we have found support on. We found resistance and then support on 720. 700 is obviously a psychological level. So for us to break through into the 200-day at 690 would take us breaking a lot of levels. So, I mean, suppose anything's possible, but I think we're more protected than we were, let's say, from the 200-day back in end of July, for example, when the 200-day was sitting at where the stock price was. Remember, there was that golden cross news the other day. So I found that funny. ES says, is Webull better than TradingView? TradingView is nice as well. Webull just candidly is what I use because it has a nice software program that I find decent for it, and they sponsor the channel. Not sponsor, but they're affiliate for the channel if anyone signs up for an account. TradingView is not bad as well. I have an account with them. I use a couple indicators on there that I don't think you can find elsewhere. So there's that. But whatever works for you. I used to use, as you guys know, if you guys used to watch my videos back from last winter, I used to use exclusively Interactive Brokers for charting. I just find when I'm streaming, it's a little bit easier to not use like this Java program, but rather use something a little bit more. I'm not sure what Webull is built on, but it's a little bit more faster for me when I'm streaming. That's all it is. Yes, David, I saw that. I got some tags on that. I'm pretty excited. I need to get access to that somehow. So, is anyone listening that has FSD beta access in Vancouver-ish area? I only know one person that works at Tesla. He works in sales. He's awesome. If you're looking to buy a Tesla in Vancouver, let me know. I'll hook you up with him. But yeah. Let's see here. CNBS is talking about bonds. Check this out. No thanks. No, thank you. All right, we're 4 likes away from 300. Can we hit 300 likes? We're at 296 apparently. 4 away. Yeah, so trading before and after hours, that's dependent on welcome Johnny Vu. That's really dependent on your broker. 325 likes. Thank you guys. Thanks for everyone for hitting the like. 336. Wow, we're just climbing. It's really dependent on your broker. Interactive brokers, for example, like we can place after hours orders and stuff like that on shares. So there's that. But yeah. Thinkorswim, I don't know if what it offers like on that. Johnny Wu says, what's the strongest support for Tesla if it does drop? Well, I think strongest supports are usually always big moving averages. So, I mean, what is this? 50 days sitting at 690. And what? Oh, sorry, no. It's 50 days sitting at 693. 150 or no, 100 day, 200 days at 691. I think psychologically, though, 700. It would be the biggest probably. Right? Because, whole numbers are always psychologically better because even the layman can look at the psychological number and be like, well, Tesla's dropped 5%. That's 700. Probably a good deal to buy. So, yeah, you guys are wild. Now we're at 364 likes. Much love. Thank you. Again, really bullish out here. He's talking about the bull hammer that we had the other day. When I made that video on that day, the other day when Tesla went down like 4% during the whole day and then really rallied to close the day off massively, like that was such a bull sign, right? And now really the next level to look at is that 764 break. Travis says, is this selfish for me not wanting for Tesla to climb the moon yet so I have time to buy more? No, I mean, yeah, I totally feel that. I think I get a lot of comments like that is, I'm looking to buy Tesla, but if it keeps climbing every day, I'm having a hard time. So, yeah, I totally feel that. Remember, stocks go up, stocks go down. Really not much we can do about it. Macro is really dictated by big funds pulling in and out. Inflation or news or pops and extrinsic stuff, like what happens in Austin, Berlin, like, this is really dependent on the company. That's why short-term fluctuations are harder to predict, obviously. But fundamentally wise, like we're going to find out, folks. That's why I'm so excited is that in the next month or two, like we will have deliveries, not volume production at all, but deliveries coming out of Austin and Berlin. And I think Troy Teslike is saying that even with a little bit of contribution, hitting 900,000 for the year, I think is where his updated projection is for 2021. Could be wrong. I actually forget what it was. So yeah, super exciting times. He says people are saying they want it to crash. They could buy 100 shares. Yeah, I mean, listen, as Kathy Wood says, all of these tech stocks, all of these disruptive stocks that, face it or not, have a high PE ratio because that's really not how you're supposed to, in my opinion, measure some of these stocks and evaluate them, but that's a different debate. We'll have opportunities where they give us massive correction points, right? Where they give us opportunities to get into stocks. So I think one of the things in the interview she said was like, don't chase if you don't need to, because there's always going to be like the market always prices in opportunities for stocks that are just a lot more disruptive, a lot more risky by nature. And so opportunities should present themselves. And we've seen that, right? It's not like it's a bold prediction. We've seen a lot of dips into Tesla. Like obviously we saw the massive one end of Feb, beginning of March, all the way from 900 down to 550 within a matter of weeks. That was really shocking. And then again, we dipped back to under 580 and as low as 550 again in May. So, opportunities will present themselves, albeit for who knows how long. But Tesla is doing quite well here today, 753. Again, I'll be happy with a 750 above close. As I forget who said it, as someone said in the comments, right back where we started from on the week. So, it's kind of this like back and forth seesaw action that we're seeing. Like Tesla goes down $40. No one says anything. Tesla goes up $10. Woohoo! It's like, it's funny. It's just, what can we do, right? And by the way, Max Payne, I got some questions on Max Payne. I think it's, I don't know. I don't follow Max Payne in and out every day. Again, it can be manipulated very fast. But I think it's like 710 or 700, I think, the last that I heard about it. So, also, talked to an ICE friend talked an ICE friend from the prairies into a Turo Model 3 for his Vancouver to Whistler vacation. Looking forward to see he bags some stocks on Monday. Very nice. Yeah, like I've said this story. The first time I test drove the car is kind of what changed my mind on everything. Quite literally everything. Yeah, it's it's kind of crazy. It's I've talked about this story so many times, so I won't. By the way, I do have video that I need to chop up. Yash needs to get his shit together. I'm talking in third person. I need to get my stuff together and edit my videos. I have the road trip video that we did, 1,500 kilometers from here to Lake Louise, Alberta, and back on our Model 3s. I went with my parents and my sister. It was 2 cars. I want to edit that video, and I want to do a 9-month review of the Model 3. We took delivery in end of December, so I want to do like a 9-month update. What I like. And then I want to do like a video on the pros and cons of owning an electric car in a condo. Because I think I get that question a lot, right? Like, Ash, you live in an apartment. How do you charge? Blah, blah, blah. I want to do a video on. I want to turn, I guess, this channel and do some videos on more like me outside in the car doing reviews. But I guess talk is cheap. I've been talking about that all summer, so I need to get my shit together. I drove a Camry on my vacation last week and it was painful leaving my long-range Model 3 behind. Why'd you take the Camry then, Travis? So 755 is some resistance here. That's high of day is essentially 755. We're 4 pennies off. 753 is where we're sitting at right now. Alan says, hey man, what was your major degree in uni? I majored in economics, minored in business and commerce. Rental. Gotcha. Let's see here. Jan says, did Rivian pop on the news that they delivered the first truck to the customer? Will we see that pop when Austin delivers its first Cybertruck? Austin Cybertruck slated for probably mid to end of next year, unfortunately. But will we see that? I definitely think so, Jan. Like, I think, like, I'm not sure about you, like, but if you saw a Cybertruck right now on the road, like, it's a game changer. Like, I remember when we first saw our the first Model Y in public out on the streets, not in photos or something. It was like, whoa. But it wasn't a big deal because it kind of just looked like the Model 3, except it was bigger, it looked nicer. But when I'm going to see the Cybertruck for the first time, it's going to be a game changer. Like, it's going to turn heads. Like, everywhere it goes, it's going to turn heads. And I have a video out on the Cybertruck and why I think it's going to be a game changer for Tesla. Question, how do you charge? With a really long extension cable. So we have free supercharging for a year. We're coming up in 3 months to that year mark. So we supercharge. There's free level 2 chargers around where I live. So I can just plug in. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to charge. So if I go to the coffee shop to work, I bring my laptop and all my stuff with me, go to the charger, plug in, walk to the coffee shop, do some work on the laptop, and then go back to the car, and usually has 30% charge, 40% charge more, and then kind of charge that way. We can just plug into a regular outlet as well, and it takes about overnight it can charge about like 30%, I want to say. So, in our parking lots, we have outlet plugs. Unfortunately, our stall doesn't have one, but if we end up trading stalls with someone that does have a plug, like that could be a way that we could charge as well. It's gonna be crazy, folks. Matt says this sounds insane, but if the Inspiration SpaceX mission goes well, do you think it'll affect Tesla? I seem to remember Tesla going ballistic after the first launch of astronauts to a space station. In my opinion, no. I don't think like. It's funny because when SpaceX does stuff and they were doing that reusable test a while ago when they were crashing, Tesla would go down like $2 something really fast. And in my opinion, no. In my opinion, no. To be determined. I just don't think so. That being said, I think there might be some movements as it lands and stuff like that, but I don't think even in the grand scheme of the day, I don't think it's going to make a difference. In my opinion, we'll see. All right, folks, signing off. We have 382 likes. If we can finish this stream off with 400, we just need 18 more likes, and we'll finish off with 400. Much love for tuning in. Let's see here, I got to load my likes up. Much love for tuning in to this impromptu live stream. I promised. 393 with 7 away. If 404. Much love. Thank you, folks. Almost everyone watching has liked this stream. Appreciate it. I've been live for 413 likes. Wow. I've been live for way longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a quick 45-minute stream. But like I said, can we see the dog again for a bit more green? She's sitting outside the door. She's too big for me to pick her up and put me in the lap. But I'll show the dog on Friday for Power Hour. Let's do a Power Hour live stream on Friday, folks. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing, all that sort of stuff. Good juju only, good vibes only. If you want to join us, if you want to join the Juju Gang on Patreon, help support the channel. You don't have to financially if you don't want to. Link for Patreon is in the description. Get your 2 free stocks with Webull. Of course, got to plug our affiliate there and get your free Bitcoin or a little bit of Bitcoin with BlockFi as well. Thanks for doing the live stream. I appreciate that, Peter, Paco, Edward, Brian, everyone tuning in. I just joined. What did I miss? Feel free to tune back if you want to watch. We're just going over Tesla stock. Much love. Take care. Obviously, none of this was financial advice. Much love, everyone. Take care. And catch me on Twitter if you want to as well. Take care, guys. Catch you on the next video. Peace.